Hey guys, welcome to my new lecture of ASP.NET Web Forms Lab Testing System Part 3. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to cover about master page details, where we have a navigation bar, and also we have to follow or save our testing details, that what the patient need to test. Okay, so let us start our video. Okay, last time we have discussed about some features in which we have a registration page. The user, if the existing user have their account, they don't need to register again, they redirect to the login master page. Okay, and the user don't have their account, so they have to register their account first, and then they secondly go for their patient detail page that we have completed yesterday. Okay, or earlier. So we have a database in the last video that I have created, in which I have a patient registration, or I have created a patient detail table. Okay, and today I'm going to do that I'm going to create a master page where I'm going to add a navigation bar, and I'm going to show you about how can you add the link on a master page. And with like that I'm also going to show you about how to the patient comes and fill the details, that what test they need to do. Okay, so first of all I'm going to add a master page here. Just right click on your patient system and add a master detail page. Today my laptop is a little bit slow because I'm installing an Android Studio, so don't worry about. Okay, the new item. In a new item I'm going, and with like that I am going to new item, and I'm going to add a web form master page, and you can make it the name that you want. I'm not going to make a name. Okay, site1.master, and you can see that it requires a few seconds to create a page of site.master. Okay, our site1.master page has been created. If I run that particular page, it will show a following error. Okay, what is the error? Just check it out to the browser. Okay, just use Ctrl F5 to run the project, or you can run from here. Okay, if you want to directly run your project, so you have to put the Ctrl F5, or other else if you are working with your project and you are applying a breakpoints, so you have to run the project from Google Chrome. Okay, it will if you run your project Ctrl F5 with checking the breakpoint, it will not work. Okay, and so again I'm going to build, and I'm going to run my project on browser. Okay, look out, this is a following error. If I run that particular page, the web server configure do not list the content in the directory. So what you need to do is you just right click on this again after editing a site master page, and go to the add, just go to the new item, and what you need to do is go to the top, use master web form with a master page, just add the name of master page. I'm going to add the master page is index. If I get after that, just select that particular master page that you have added and just click on OK. So now this is your particular page that you need to work on. Okay, if I click on here, and if I just in the center of this, if I use h1 heading, and I use my name Control S, and if I run the project based on with Control F5, so what is the following output? Look out. Oh, this is my URL index.aspx. Okay, so look out, this is my following name that I have uploaded. Edit, Okay, now for the first thing is that I'm going to add a navigation bar on my master page. So I'm going on my site master, in which I'm going to just copy all these things, copy this, and in the index page I'm going to paste it down here. Okay, and in this section I'm going to remove this form page, and I'm also going to remove this placeholder, and I'm also going to remove this XML, and I'm also going to remove a run at server. Okay, and this thing of that, enter Control S, and and I want to add a navigation bar here. So just go to the Google on Bootstrap navigation and just click on navbar Bootstrap. In a navbar Bootstrap, you can select your Bootstrap navigation bar here. Okay, I'm going to select that particular navigation bar. Just click copy and go to your file, and in a body section just paste it here. Okay, just Control S and go again and just refresh the page of index.out. This is a navigation bar that is added, but look out this view. This is a navigation bar view and this is my view. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to add a CSS file. What you need to do, go to the Google and just write here, I'm going to back Bootstrap library. So write Bootstrap library, click on this. We have two options. If you want to download or install in your project, so you can. I'm going to use get started because it will automatically run, but it needs a internet connection. Okay, if your internet connection is not available, so it will not work. Okay, so just copy this, and in the head I'm going to paste here. Okay, just Control S and go there, go to the page and refresh the page again. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to show you, if you want to add a link by clicking on it, you want to redirect to the page. So how can you do this? So in a link, just in a href option, go to your any page or add any new page that you want to add, and copy their code behind welcome page ASPX on in your index page on href, just paste it. Okay, and the name is registration. Okay, and just refresh the page again. Okay, wait a minute, just refresh the page again with Control F5. Well, index will look out. This is my registration name, and if I click on this, it will redirect to my registration page. Okay, so I'm not going to add any page. If you want to add your page, so you can add their home, contact, about us, and just what you need to do, add a right click on it and add a new web form. It's only a web form, and copy their code, copy their URL and just paste it on that particular index file, index on href. Okay, this is the following thing that we have done here. Okay, if the user after registration, okay, after registration where the user has go, the user will redirect to the index page. Okay, index page. Okay, Control Shift P. In an index page, the user redirect to that particular page, index.aspx. Okay, index.aspx. Okay, the next thing that what I need to do, I'm going to add a patient details, that what the patient, that if the patient need to make a test, that what the patient need to add the test. Okay, so I'm going to add on first of all I'm going to add on a table where I'm going to use the patient come after registration, the patient come and get the data. So connect this, and the whole procedure is the same with the previous video that I have added in the last video. I'm going to add another table where the patient requests or they do the test, so they maintain their file history that the patient want to do that particular test. So the lab attendant can maintain their data, or they can fill the details that the people the user can get that particular following things. like if I'm going to create a table, just I'm going to show you. Okay, I have created a table here in which I have a test details option, in which we have an ID, test date, amount, test report date, and contact user, test type, which type of test they want to do, and in the last we have a foreign key of that particular patient, that what patient are coming to do a test. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and execute this table first. Okay, successful, and I'm going to use select query, select all from test details, control copy, control paste it here. Okay, and after that, okay, perfect. And the next thing is that what I need to do on a welcome, after successful registration, they go to the index page, or the user have their existing account with through like like my login ASPX. Wait a minute, in a login ASPX.cs file, if the user have the so they can go to the also index page. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my table. Okay, I'm going to just click on this, right click on this, update model from database again, and add table. Just retrieve the table from that. What table I'm going to do is that test details. Just click on finish, wait for a few seconds, and it will be added to your database models. Okay, this is my test table details. I'm going to build the project first. Okay, it will be added successfully, and I'm building my project. So after successfully built, I'm going to work on my file. Okay, so okay, successful. On a registration page, I have added their patient user ID. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go on my login file, control paste it, and I'm going to add here a session. In this session I'm going to add my I'm going to just copy that particular, I want to save my session again to my session ID, user ID, to my session on my login page. So I'm going to copy this again, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so in a table registration and on an object folder, and I'm going to use user ID is equals to object.user ID. I'm going to save that particular user ID. So I am going to use user data ID. Okay, and now I'm going to add my new web form, in which I'm going to add my patient details. Add new item, web form, patient test details. Okay, it will be added. What I need to do, I want to add a test date column, amount column, test report date column, contact column, test type column. Okay, so I'm going to add my columns. Okay, guys, so after successfully editing our database a table, I have created a one new web form, in which we have a patient details web form, in which I have used a test date box, okay, amount box, report date box, test report, receive date box, contact box, and a drop down list, in which I have added a three lists, in which I have a CPLC and blood test. Don't worry about that, a drop down list. If you go here or in a toolbox, okay, if you click on, you use drop down. Okay, drop down, this is a drop down list. You can drag and drop this on here and just use ASP list item and add the list item. Okay, and at the end I have used a button. Okay, but remember, there is a one problem. What is the problem? The problem is that I have not added a date time text box. Okay, if I run that particular page on a browser, so look out, that calendar is not showing on that particular text box. So don't worry about that. I will show you at my next lecture that how to add a text box calendar on a text box by clicking on it, because it's a date time. And I will also show you about the previous data of that particular user if I have add any test. Okay, so in that particular time I'm just going to show you about our data has been saving successfully or not. And in the login page I have added a user ID variable here, and I just save it to the session. Okay, and I'm going to redirect to my patient detail page. Okay, and in my patient detail text box the whole coding, the rest of the coding are same, and I just use to save my session data for login user because I want to retrieve my all the data through that particular ID. And I use a variable datetime in which I have set the format of datetime with through that particular datetime dot parse exact test date. Okay, and I save this to the my test date, and also I have saved it to my the datetime one. Okay, and I'm going to run my project by editing a breakpoints. So I'm going to show you a falling output. We have to log in first instead of process because I have I will get if I run the project it will redirect to my first page, that is login page or registration page. Okay, so I'm going to add here a login.aspx and I'm going to log in my any account. So okay, this is my first ID. Look out, it will redirect to my breakpoint. So just click on continue and it will redirect to my that particular page that I have created here. Okay, so I have added a first test date, amount, report retrieve amount and contact, and I press select drop down to see test detail and I click on save details. Okay, this is also go to the another drop down, another breakpoint. If I just click on OK, so lookup record, our test detail has been added successfully. Just click on it. This is my first data in my text details, and if I click on the lookout, there's a second data in my test details. So the another thing is that what I need to do, I have to add up placeholders here so it will easy to understand. Okay, so test date. Okay, and the next thing is that I have to add here, copy this and paste it here, amount, and another thing is that report date, and another thing is that we have a contact, and in our contact and in the next tab we have a drop down list. Just control S, save here, and just go again to check our drop down and placeholders. Okay, okay, I have just run my, I have to run again this my project with through control F5. Okay, perfect. Test date, amount, placeholder, report date, contact and select date. Okay, our data is saving, but what we need to do, the next thing is that I have to add a calendar on my both report test date text box and report text box. And another thing is that what I need to do is I have to show a data in my index page. What I'm actually talking. If the existing user open login and if they have their existing previous test details or test data, so it will automatically show in a grid view on that particular area. Okay, so we have to cover this in my next lecture. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.